think that the Spartans need to do against the Huskies tonight?
Well, I think first off, toe the line. The offensive line has to do what they did last week, control the line of scrimmage against a good Portage Northern football team. They did a great job last week controlling the clock. Drake Kemp had over 200 yards on the ground. They did a great job last week. They need to continue that with the offensive line, doing a really good job tonight.
And, of course, the defense has to look at Portage Northern, and they were able to seal off the run game back in week 1. They're going to have to do the same thing again here in the district finals.
Well, as head coach Matt Miller said, that they tried to make Portage Northern beat them through the air.
Yep.
And they did. Mm-hmm. And they did with Snow, Darren Snow. They don't want Snow to come early or rain on their parade here at home. And Snow in the first game had 9 catches, 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. Quarterback Thomas Shepard had over 200 yards passing. We'll see if Lakeview has that same game plan here tonight.
And for Portage Northern's defense, there's something about running back and Lakeview that they have to stop.
Well, they have to stop 5 to stay alive. Drake Kemp has been great this season. He has over 1,300 yards on the ground, 20 touchdowns total on the season. He's a great player. They have to stop him. They did the first game, but it was Malik Shrad who really stepped up. So we'll see if that's going to be their main focus here tonight.
Nick Herbert of the Portage Northern Huskies will be kicking off to the north end zone. The Spartans will be starting off. The coin toss went to Portage Northern, and they deferred to the second half. So the Huskies in their white jerseys, white pants, the brown helmets with the Husky on the side. Spartans pick it up at the 25, wrapped up in the middle of the field as it went up to one of the up backs. That was Michael Miller getting it for the Spartans, and the purple and black of the Spartans will be starting at their own 25.
Well, Lakeview offensively, their starters on the offensive line from left to right. We have Cole Winters and Cole Cleaver on the left side. The center is Justin Wright. On the right side, Matthew Barrett and Travis Snyder. The running backs, Drake Kemp and Malik Shrad. Tight ends, Michael Miller and TJ Fisk, and the quarterback is Skylar Nichols,
who will be keeping it on the fake to Kemp, and he will be up to the 36. A gain of 16 yards right around the right tackle. Great play by the Spartans.
Well, finally taken down in the secondary by number 12, Nick Herbert, who made the tackle. But great job establishing that play action with the quarterback to keep that option run.
The fake was to Dre Kemp, who seems to be the man rolling for the Spartans. Of course, Malik Shrad also in the backfield. It's going to be first down and 10 again for the Spartans at their own 36. This time, turn around, and Kemp will bring it up to about the 40 and a gain of 4 for the Spartans.
Kemp taken down by Ryan Beadle for Portage Northern. Let's quickly go through Portage Northern's 4-4 defense. On the defensive line, they have Grant McNally, Anthony Talton, Aaron Alexander, and Ollie Thomas. The linebackers are Zach DeVera, Darren Snow, Ryan Beadle, and Jay Caskey. The secondary is Nick Herbert, Seth Learman, and Thomas Schiefert.
The fake pitch there from Nichols. They're going to throw up the middle. Wide open is Fredericks into Portage Northern territory, up to the 25. He squirms around to the Huskies, down to the 15, and he gets taken down finally at the 10. Great play.
Well, Fredericks couldn't have been more wide open. I mean, the defense for Portage Northern fought on the play action, hook, line, and sinker, and Fredericks was wide open down the field, and he did a fantastic job just breaking ankles out there. I mean, he was making moves with his feet that I don't think they have names for.
None. 10:30 left here in the first quarter. The Spartans already driving on their third play, a 50-yard gain from Nichols to Fredericks. This time handed off to Shrad. Shrad rolls his way, looks like down to the 5-yard line, and a gain of 5. The Spartans with second and goal.
Great lead block there by Cole Cleaver, the left guard. Did a fantastic job.
Second down and 5. Second down and goal, rather, here for Lakeview. Schrad lines up on the right side. Kemp on the left. Nichols will go with Kemp. Kemp squirms his way, and he pushes his way down to the 1. Spartans say it's in, but well short. Tackle made there by Grant McNally for Portage Northern, along with, looks like Kyler Casada. Or was it one of the other numbers in the 40s? I think it was Michael Lincoln. No, there's a lot of different 40s in there. But a gain of 4 nonetheless.
Big play here for Lakeview early on after a couple of big plays.
3rd and goal now from the 1 for the Spartans. Nichols will spin, and a really quick sprint there. Kemp all the way through just over the center block, and he touchdown Spartans.
Well, Drake Kemp got the football, and he went virtually untouched into the end zone. That was a beautiful opening drive as the cheerleaders are releasing balloons in triumph here. I believe that those may be breast cancer balloons. They are pink. It looks like there are little messages that are tied to them. I believe they call those messages to heaven. And I'm sure there's some people looking down right up in heaven right now, looking down at this Lakeview football team with a smile on their face.
So not too long on that drive. Jake Herbers winds up here for the extra point. This one is up and definitely good. It's 7-0 Lakeview Spartans. 9:08 left here in the first quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
2014 will end sooner than you think. And if your dental benefits or insurance plans don't carry over into the next year, you could lose that money.
Off here for the Lakeview Spartans. This one is going to be short of the end zone and taken at the 3. And being brought up by the Huskies, and he rolls all the way up to about the 30. That was number 82, Eric Coley, on the return there for the Huskies.
Really nice return, good starting field position for Portage Northern here. I do want to add to the keys of the game for the Huskies, and that's think last week. Last week they had this big game on the road against Portage Central, a big rival of theirs that they lost to earlier in the year. They came out, they thought, we're going to win this football game. They went out and they wanted that to feel that same way here tonight.
Thomas Shepard is taking this one from the shotgun, and the jet sweep to Coley over on the right side, and a big hit. Big hit there from Dre Kemp.
Well, Dre Kemp, he can score touchdowns, and he can potentially cause injuries with hits like that. Got to make sure that he doesn't lead with the head too much when he hits, but just really big hit by Dre Kemp, and that really sets a tone early on.
Absolutely. Eric Coley with the 2-yard gain there. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 as the Huskies have it at their own 32.
2nd down and 8 now.
In the read option there, Shepard able to hand it up the middle, and it's taken by Josh Leiter, and he is pulled down at about the 37, and it's a gain of 5, and 3rd down and 3 for the Huskies.
Good run by Leiter, good blocking by Eric Andrews, the junior offensive lineman. Let's take a look at the starters on offense for the Huskies. Up front we have Penny, Heights, Koski, Mills, and Andrews. Quarterback is Thomas Shepard. Running backs are McNally and Leiter. Wide receivers are Grant and Snow.
Shepard rolls left on this 3rd and 3. He's looking for his receivers. He finally finds somebody, and it's caught and taken down at the 43. That pass was caught by Nick Grant, and it's a 1st down and 10 for the Huskies.
Well, that kind of looked like an old Madden play that people would always run against me, that they would always be upset out. They would roll all the way out to one sideline, and then they would look to try to find somebody when there was nothing there. And a really nice job of the wide receiver getting open. Garand did a really nice job.
9-yard gain there for the Huskies to keep the drive alive. 7:28 left here in the first quarter. Lakeview Spartans scoring early, and it's 7-0. Flag on the play. And it's an illegal shift is the call, and the Huskies will be pushed back 5 yards.
Well, penalties can kill drives, and right now Lakeview hoping that happens with this Portage Northern drive.
12 men on the field.
Actually, it was an illegal substitution. That was the call there. And no matter what, 5 yards back, the Huskies will have first down and 15 now. It's 7:22 left. By the way, that drive for the Lakeview Spartans, 5 plays, 75 yards. Dre Kemp on the 1-yard run, taking 2:52 off the clock. Shefford takes it out of the shotgun here in this read option. Coley. And it's going to be Leiter again, who makes his way around to the right end. And he is taken down in Spartan territory. Going to be marked down at the 48. It's going to be second down. And it looks like 4 for the Huskies.
Nice job by Roger Williams to make the tackle. Really quick, let's get to the starters on defense. Running a 4-4 defense up front. On the defensive line, TJ Fisk, Austin Sika, John Burks, and Cole Cleaver. Linebackers Devin Sherlock, Matt Barrett, Hunter Bost, and CJ Foster. Secondary, Roger Williams, Brennan Gooding, and Therese Fredericks for Lakeview.
They fake the jet sweep, and they go right up the middle with Leiter getting the first down and taken down at the 40. And a gain of 8 for the Huskies as they move the chains once again.
Nice tackle in the open field there by number 3, Tyrese Fredericks, the free safety, playing center field for Lakeview. The last line of defense made sure that Leiter didn't get a chance to get by him any further.
They usually line up with the read option look, 1 receiver on each side, and then 2 running backs. Usually those 2 running backs are Leiter, who is a little bit farther back than Shefford. Shefford. And what do we got here? And it looks like a timeout here for the Huskies. And that's going to be the first one of this quarter. And thanks to all those starting lineups there, Jeff, brought to you by. And here on the near side, it's Nick Herbert, the receiver there. First down and 10, 5:56 left. Herbert will go in motion. They're going to hand it off on the left side, and Leiter will get down to the 38. A gain of 2 for the Huskies, 2nd and 8 in Spartan territory at the 38.
Defensively, it is really difficult to stop that sleight of hand motion type of offense. There's a lot of moving parts. You had Herbert, who's coming from left to right in motion. Then they run a counter the second that he gets past the end of the right side of the offensive line. Nice play call there. They didn't get a lot, but it really sets things up.
Grant McNally is the fullback and most likely the blocker here. 5:20 left, 2nd and 8. This time, the jet sweep. Coley's going to take it on the right side. He gets pushed back, and he's unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll probably get forward progress, but it's going to push him back to the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Well, right there, the lead blocker, Leiter, had a choice. Who am I going to block? Unfortunately, he picked the wrong guy. He didn't get that. He didn't create that seal on the edge. Instead of getting Hunter Boss, he decided to go one step further and get the inside linebacker, Matt Barrett, on the block, and it just really created a great push by the defense for the Spartans.
3rd and 11. They mark it as a 3-yard loss. 4:34 and counting here in the first quarter. The Lakeview Spartans ahead 7-0. Shefford will look to the right on the weak side. He'll throw a bullet that is caught at the 30. A low pass, but still nabbed. Mitchell Brown, for the Huskies. And it's going to be a first down for the Huskies. They keep those chains moving.
That was a well-run route. There's 3 wide receivers who were going out for passes. Leiter was also going out for passes. And Brown, able to settle in, get a curl route, caused Williams, the defender for Lakeview, to step back. And he's able to come back for the football, makes a nice catch and a first down.
2 receivers here on the near side as Shefford goes under center. And they'll hand it up the middle and wrapped up rather quickly and not even getting to the line of scrimmage. That was Leiter.
Well, Hunter Bost, again, doing a really great job. The second leading tackler for this Lakeview Spartan defense that have pitched 6 games this season in which they've given up a touchdown or less, including 4 shutouts. One of the big reasons, 83 total tackles on the year.
2nd and 11 for the Huskies. Receiver on both sides. Shefford under center once again. And Play action pass, and Shepard has to just basically fall down to avoid getting hit rather hard. It looked like Devin Sherlock was one of the Spartans that was there.
Well, Devin Sherlock, along with Barrett on the pressure, he had Ali Thomas wide open on the play. An interesting fact about Ali Thomas, Nate, is that back 40 years ago, the first time these two teams played, back on October 3rd, 1975, was the anniversary of the final Ali-Frazier fight, the Thrill in Manila.
5 receivers this time for Shepard, who's got a lot of protection. He's looking. Great play by the secondary. He's able to get it off, and it is going to be incomplete on the far sideline. Great protection there by the Spartan secondary to force that 4th and 18. And it is at the Spartan 37. So now the Huskies are going to be in a conundrum with 2:34 left here in the first quarter.
Well, with 5 wide there, it was like my grandpa would always say, all dressed up and nowhere to go. Shepard just had nobody to throw the football to.
Nick Herbert with the punt for the Huskies as he stands at the Husky 49. Good snap, the left foot, high, and it is going to get into the end zone, so a 51-yard punt, actually 38 yards from the line of scrimmage, and then it comes back 20 yards, so 18 yards net, and the Lakeview Spartans will get their second drive here at their own.
Bringing pressure, not afraid to bring the pressure, knowing that their secondary has guys who can do a great job in coverage in the secondary. Great job by Sherlock and Barrett to apply the pressure to put Northern in that position where they had to punt the football.
Skylar Nichols will go under center once again for the Spartans. This one being handed off to Kemp, who is able to drag down a couple of Huskies along the way. And this ball's getting marked at the 25, a gain of 5 for the senior Kemp. Junior, rather.
Tackle made by number 32, Zach DeVera. On the play, the senior linebacker for Portage Northern comes in the game with 54 total tackles on the year and 3.5 sacks and a couple of forced fumbles.
I have to remember that. Shrad's the senior, Kemp's the junior. 2nd and 6, they only mark it as a 4-yard gain for Kemp. Nichols will hand it off to Kemp once again, who's able to pull down a couple more Huskies as he gets a first down, a gain of 7 this time.
Great blocking up front by Travis Snyder. But the speed of Kemp, along with its offensive line, is what makes this football team so tough to play. They get great blocking down the field. They make great progressions. And Kemp and Shrad just know where to go with the football.
And Nichols does such a good job taking the ball away from the snap, especially on that play, just to get it out to Kemp. 1st and 10 at the 31. Nichols changes it up just a bit at the line. And Nichols is going to take it, pitch out to Kemp, who is off to the races at the 50. He spun around and he gets into Husky territory down at the 44. And that was a very nice game for the Spartans.
Tackle made by Shepard, a touchdown-saving tackle. But what a brilliant football IQ of Nichols. He realized on the far side that they didn't have anybody over there on the far side to deal with anything on the left side. Everything was on the right. So he called that double motion on the option, and just a really great play call and a great job with the audible by Nichols.
26-yard gain there for Kemp as we now have 1 minute left here in the first quarter. Nichols pitches it off to the right. Kemp is able to take it. Kemp stiff arms his way and waltzes his way out of bounds. Just a gain of 4. It does stop the clock at 54.1 seconds. Spartans ahead 7-0 on a 1-yard run from Kemp earlier in the first quarter. A market actually at the 38, so a gain of 6.
Well, you know, former Green Bay Packers head coach Vince Lombardi said he could teach seminars on the power sweep. Power sweep that last time. Didn't quite get exactly what they wanted, but still 6 yards with great blocking down the field.
Frederick on the far side, the lone receiver for the Spartans on this 2nd down and 4. And they fake the option that time, and Schrad is able to beat his way up to about the 38. They were at the 38. They were now at the 34. 4-yard gain, and it's a first down for the Spartans.
Schrad brought down by number 52, Jay Caskey on the play. It's still a first down.
First and 10, now 38 seconds left. Nichols under center. They'll take the snap, and this time goes up to Schrad up the middle, just over the left side of the center, and a gain of 2. It's going to be second down and 8, and that could very well be the final play of the first quarter.
Ryan Beadle with the tackle. Great job by this Lakeview Spartans offense. They commanded. It was their quarter. They lead 7-0. They're driving. They feel great. The momentum, well, if momentum had a color, it would be purple and black.
And that's what we're going to take into the second quarter. Lakeview Spartans ahead on a Dre Kemp 1-yard touchdown on the first drive for the Spartans. 7-0 in favor of Lakeview over Portage Northern in this district final. We'll have the second quarter coming up here for you next, right here on WBCK. Lakeview High School, second quarter just about ready to get underway as the Lakeview Spartans ahead 7-0 over the Portage Northern Huskies. And we want to remind you that if you want to become an official with the Michigan High School Athletic Association, you can do so. Some love what participation in educational athletics provides to young people. Some enjoy watching young people develop as players and people throughout their school sports careers. Others just like to travel to other schools. To become a registered high school game official, call or click the MHSAA. You can be a referee. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Second and 8 to start the second quarter here for the Spartans. 2 receivers on the near side. Nichols will roll left, and the pass was intended for Tyrese Frederick. Nowhere close. Frederick was just about a couple of yards down the field and inside the hashes. This pass went out into the flat outside.
Well, that's what they call the old alligator arm on the throw there by Nichols. Never really quite got his body in a good position to throw the football. He was off of his back foot, sort of backing away. Just really never had the opportunity to get the ball where it needed to go. And I think if Nichols could have that back, he would do things a little bit differently on his mechanics.
Third and 8 now for the Spartans. Just one receiver, and that is Frederick. They fake the pitch. They're going to go up the middle, and quick pressure up the middle there from the Huskies. That was, looks like Zach DeVera. Very close to Nichols. Nichols just had to get rid of it.
Ali Thomas also in there on the pressure.
So it's going to be 4th down and 8. Spartans are at the Portage Northern 31. And Nichols is going to go back out into the huddle. And the Spartans could very well go for it. Of course, they have Jake Herbers, a very strong kicker. And they're not going to use him at this time. And a timeout being called by Lakeview. First one of the first half.
Well, from this position, it would be quite a long field goal. I mean, we're looking at around maybe 45 yards.
Well, let's see. Go 7 yards back from 31. It'll be 48 yards.
48 yards here. So is that within his range? I haven't seen him attempt anything longer than a 40-yard field goal, which he did make last week in the wind. His career long is 39 for his career. So we'll see if they decide to bring him out here. But they are leading 7-0, so you don't want the possibility of a potential block here or a miss that gives Northern really good field position either.
Very true. Of course, nobody made a field goal last week. Both Matawan and Lakeview tried field goals into the north end zone where the wind was coming from at about 20 miles an hour. Herber's field goal attempt was actually right on line, but then the wind took it and just stopped it right at the end zone.
It was what they call kite-ruining wind.
Yes. 4th and 8. Nichols will drop straight back. He will go to the left and in and out of the hands of Frederick at about the 8-yard line. And nearby for the Huskies, It looked like Nick Herbert was right there for Portage Northern on D.
Oh, Fredericks is looking at his hands after that, saying, "Why did you betray me?" The football was put right where it needed to be put, and Fredericks, unfortunately, unable to come up with a catch.
Frederick was able to get away with a push-off there, too. But
that he was not really a chance to complain like a lot of the NFL guys do, wanting a flag. He knew he'd done wrong.
So Thomas Sheffert will hand the ball off on the first play from scrimmage on this second drive. And that first play is at the 31. And it looks like it was Josh Whiter making it all the way up to about the 41, just short of a first.
Actually, that looked like it might have been number 11, the fullback Grant McNally for Portage Northern.
It's going to be second down and a short one. Sheffert out of the shotgun. And a run up the middle this time from Whiter, and Whiter is going to get down to the 47 and a gain of 6. And another first down for the Huskies.
Yeah, for some reason, the head coach said that his nickname at school is Monopoly McNally because of the board game, but apparently kids don't realize Monopoly is by Parker Brothers. So, I'm not quite sure how that happened, but they call him Monopoly McNally.
He should have been called Map to be combined with Rand McNally.
That's what I thought, but you know what are you going to do? I mean, nicknames are weird.
First and 10, 10:39 in the first half. Lakeview ahead 7-0. And a handoff up the middle, and Whiter gets stopped, but he is able to eke out a yard. It's going to be second down and 9. And great tackle up front. It looked like Cole Cleaver was right there out front for the Spartans.
Cole Cleaver with a great football name, both alliterative and just it's cool sounding Cleaver. When you think of Cleaver, you think of tough guys with big sharp things they wield around.
Second down and 9. Nick Garant is on the far side, the lone receiver there. Herbert will come across. He will take the jet sweep on the left side. Herbert is able to cut back just a little bit into Spartan territory, and he is going to get marked down at the Spartan 48. And a gain of 3. It's going to be third down and 6 now for the Huskies.
Well, Devin Sherlock closed that hole in a hurry on the far sideline. That should have been a 10 or 15-yard gain, but Sherlock read it really, really well, got himself in good position, and took him down.
Check that. 3rd and 5 now with 9:17 left here in the first. 5 receivers set now for the Huskies. Sheffert looks left. He's able to escape the pocket. He rolls right. He keeps on looking. He's going to hold it, and he's going to get pushed out behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be at the 49, or do they give him the forward progress? Nope, they're going to mark it at the 49, and a loss of 1.
Great coverage, tremendous pursuit. Not much more you can really say about that. Great defense by Lakeview. That's why they've been so successful this year. It's because even when you think that they might give you something occasionally, they just shut it down.
Secondary looking a lot better than they were earlier this year, of course, when Portage Northern torched them for 224 yards through the air. Lakeview calls their second timeout here of the first half, as they have a 7-0 lead, 9:04 left here in the first half. They are electing to punt here as Herbert stands at the own 37. The left foot punt, good spiral. It's going to bounce at about the 21 for Lakeview and roll all the way down to the 14, and that's where the Spartans will start their third drive. Worst field position on the night for Lakeview at their own 14.
We have a score update for you from Midland Dow. Mona Shores all over Midland Dow in the first quarter, 21-0 over Midland Dow.
And Mona Shores last week knocking out Caledonia, who gave Harper Creek one of their 4 defeats earlier this year, actually back in week 1. So the first down and 10 here for Lakeview. Nichols will go under center from their own 14. 8:55 left here in the second quarter. And the ball was dropped. Another fumble issue. Last week, Lakeview had 3 fumbles, and they actually lost the ball 5 times, but were not able to retain it 3 of those times. So Lakeview hopefully avoiding those turnovers tonight. So it's going to be second down and 10 from the 14.
Have an update from Eaton Rapids, all tied up in Eaton Rapids 7-7 in the first quarter between Harper Creek and Eaton Rapids.
Thank you, sir. Second down and 10. Nichols will go up the middle this time, and he is able to push out at least a yard, maybe 2.
They tried pulling a similar play that they did last week where the offensive line collapses in the middle and pushes the defensive line back. That time it didn't work quite as well as it did last week against Mattawan.
Third down and 9 now for the Spartans. 7:49 left. Lakeview ahead 7-0. Kemp winds up to Nichols' left, Schrad on the right. It will be a pitch out to Schrad. He's going to try to get around the end. He does. He gets up to about the 27, actually the 28. One quick cutback right around the block, and it's a great game for the Spartans and another first down.
Wow, this guy just put on a clinic. Schrad, with his lateral movements, tremendous. He made those last 7 yards happen that allowed them to get a first down. Schrad is a guy that, if you are an MIAA school in the area, you are looking at Schrad pretty hard as a running back that you could possibly bring in to help your team.
He is a senior. This one being handed up to Kemp, and Kemp stopped rather quickly, pushed back. Great tackle there from Portage Northern. It's Noah Hecht with the tackle.
Noah Hecht just grabbed onto his leg and wouldn't let go.
So second down and 10 now. Lakeview trying to earn another first down here. 6:42 and counting.
Well, you know, it was Dick Buckus who said half the tackling is wrapping up, and just a great job by Hecht that time.
That was one thing that the Huskies I've seen so far have been able to do. Nichols will take it, and he'll spin and hand it off to Kemp again, who plows his way up to about the 31. Gain of 3. It's going to be third down and 7 now for the Spartans.
No score update from St. Phil and Lawrence.
Yep, still waiting on that one. Yep. We'll definitely keep an eye on all 3 of those games this evening. It is the district finals. Halfway through the second quarter now. 7-0. Lakeview on top of Portage Northern. Fake pitch, and then they hand it off to Kemp. Kemp able to break through and only up to the Spartan 36. And it is going to be just a gain of 5. Fourth down and 2. And the Spartans will be forced to punt.
Portage Northern has done a really nice job since that opening drive of playing as a cohesive unit and having one goal in mind. We are going to keep Lakeview within that 10-yard line of trying to make sure that we're taking the big play away. And they've done a really good job.
Jake Herbers with a great spiral of a punt. And it goes all the way back to the 15, rolls back, and all the way down to the 5. Great punt there.
60-yard punt.
Yep. That was not wind aided. Herbers just really put a good foot onto that one.
You can't ask for more out of Herbers. I mean, that is a tremendous punt.
So it pushes Portage Northern all the way back to the 5 for their third offensive drive here of the first half. They trail 7-0. 4:59 left here in the first half.
That is the longest punt of the season for Herbert. His previous long of 52. Give him 8 more to add to that one.
So the Huskies will come rolling out.
Backed up against their own goal line.
Yep, at their own 5. Sheffert out of the shotgun. Running backs on the right side. And a fumble. And thankfully, Sheffert rolls onto it at their own 3, a loss of 2. I think it was supposed to be another jet sweep to the left with Herbert involved and just a dropped handoff.
I'm really surprised that Northern hasn't tried it.
12. They'll hand it off to Whiter, who is able to break through a hole on the left side, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all he was able to do. And a great tackle by the Spartans.
Great job by Barrett on that last play. The offensive tackle, number 74, Justin Penny for Northern, tried to block him, and Barrett gave a quick olé and slipped right to the left on the lateral movement and got in to make that last tackle. Great job.
So this time the Huskies and Sheffert come out with 4 receivers. He looks to the right side, a long bomb, and it is short. Pass was intended to Nick Garant, and it looked like it just fell through the fingers of a couple of Spartan defenders. Dre Kemp was nearby.
Well, that one was just floated up there by Sheffert, and really, I'm sure Lakeview probably a little disappointed here they didn't get a pick.
Well, Dre Kemp had the coverage over the top. Sherlock was right there just underneath. And it looked like Sheffert just had to get it out of the, just get it a little bit of air underneath it. So Herbert, good snap out back of the end zone on this punt. It's taken at the Portage Northern 37, and Frederick is able to bring it up to the Portage Northern 29, a return of 7 yards there.
I'm surprised that head coach Matt Miller isn't calling for a safety there. It looked pretty clear to me looking here at that back line that his foot, his heel of his back foot was right on the line when he caught the football.
If you heard that little groan from the stands, I think they were calling for the same thing. So now the best field position for Lakeview. 3:27 left, and they are in Portage Northern territory at the 29.
Now the play action worked earlier in the game, but don't be surprised if you see a play action pass here.
Nichols to Frederick for 50 yards. They're going to run it over on the left side, and Kemp is able to reach the 26 in a gain of 3.
I must have lost my clairvoyancy from last week.
Just a little bit.
Wish you can't win them all.
Nope, not at all. 3:07 and ticking here in the second quarter. Lakeview ahead 7-0 over Portage Northern in this district final. And Nichols under center. Frederick on the near side, the lone receiver. They'll go off on the right side. Schrad pushes away. Good fake there. Nichols is able to pitch out to Kemp. It even fooled me. And Kemp is able to bring it down to the 13.
That was what you call a picture-perfect pitch. Try to say that 10 times fast. But a great job by Nichols with the pitch that time. Did a great job leading the linebacker in. And the second he pitched it off and a first down.
13-yard gain there for Dre Kemp. He's got 76 on the night so far. 1st and 10 for the Spartans at Portage Northern's 13. Nichols will go over to the left this time, and Kemp is able to push the whole pile all the way up to the Husky 7 rather, and a gain of 7 yards.
Have an update from Lansing Catholic against Olivet, 28-0. Lansing Catholic over Olivet.
Yikes.
Kind of what we thought might happen. Olivet, a solid football team. Lansing Catholic, really good, and Olivet must not be executing the way they need to.
course, the winner of that one will be taking on either Frankenmuth or Flint Powers Catholic. They were in a 3 running back set. Frederick ends up going into the receiver set at the last minute. This one handed off to Schrad, who jumps his way over the line and is down at the 4-yard line, just short of first down, and it's going to be 3rd and 1. .140 left here in the first half. Spartans trying to put another touchdown on the board before the first half ends. Nichols, they'll hand it up to Kemp, and Kemp is in. Touchdown! 4-yard touchdown.
And he walks in behind a fantastic block, once again by Cole Cleaver, who's done a great job, and against more balloons go off here in Battle Creek, as it is a great night for football. If you are a Lakeview Spartan fan, they lead 13-0, feeling really good right now, and all set up by a short field position.
Herbers now with the extra point. This one hammered right through to make it 14-0 in favor of the Lakeview Spartans over Portage Northern. 1:26 left here in the first half. Needed for their second score, and it was Dre Kemp on a 4-yard scamper to make it 14-0 in favor of Lakeview over Portage Northern. And getting ready for the kickoff here, the senior left foot of Jake Herbers.
Herbers has done a fantastic job all year. More than 60% of his kickoffs have resulted in touchbacks. We'll see how he does here.
The first one just fell short by 3 yards. This one he hammers, and it is going to go back into the end zone for a touchback. And the Huskies will start with the ball at their own 20.
Well, if Herbers kicking off being touchbacks were a casino game, they'd be the best one. As that time he just booms it right to the other end there. Just a really great job by Jake Herbers. He's been a great weapon for this football team all year long.
And he has been for the last 4 years. He's been on this football squad since his freshman year. 4 receivers and 1 back for Thomas Sheffert, the quarterback for the Huskies. He'll roll right, and then he'll move forward, and he will get hit, but he does gain a yard on that play.
Austin Sika with a big hit right there at the end. A clean hit. The crowd on the other side for Portage didn't like it, but that was a clean hit, because the second that he decides that he's going to break that line of scrimmage, he becomes a runner. And Sheffert that time should have probably slid, and Sika with a big hit.
2-yard gain for the Huskies. It's now 2nd and 8. 1 receiver on each side. Sheffert taking this one out of the shotgun, and a quick throw out to the flat. And they are able to get down to about the 29, and the pass was complete to Nick Garant. And it's going to be 3rd down and 1 with 41.8 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Hunter Boss with another big hit. Double-digit lead for Lakeview right here. And you have to think, Nate, that Northern, this is a must-score drive for them.
And they'll have to do it in 41.8 seconds. 3rd and 1. Garant on the far side, the lone receiver there. 1 receiver on the near side. And they're going to run it up the middle as Whiter is able to gain 5 yards on it and go down at the 34 right in the middle of the field. Clock stops as the chains move. 36.7 seconds left, and another first down for the Huskies.
Coming out here now with 4 wide receivers.
Sheffert waiting for the signal, and he gets it. They're going to snap it rather quick. Sheffert will roll left this time. Great block by the line. A weak-handed throw, and the ball is dropped at the 48. Pass intended there Looked like to Nick Herbert.
Well, Herbert had that one hit him right in the bread basket, and he just unable to come up with it. That would have been a nice big play for them to be able to move the chains and just unable to haul it in.
For Shepard to roll left onto his weak side and throw on the run like that, not too bad of a pass. You don't really see that in the high school ranks. Second down and 10, 26 seconds left here in the first half. Another 4-receiver set. And Shepard will fake the handoff. They set up the screen, and that pass was intended for Leiter, who was waiting right outside of the line, and the pass was just in front of John Burks for the Spartans. It's going to be third down and 10.
Well, the great play by the Lakeview defense just took away that screen before it even had a chance. And the thing about the screen pass is if the blockers have a chance to allow it to develop, it's great. If they don't, it can be disaster. And that was almost disaster for Portage Northern.
5 receivers now for the Huskies. Shepard out of the shotgun, and he'll do the quarterback sneak, and he will be wrapped up at about the 38, and they get just a couple of yards. It's going to be fourth down and 38, but that was the last play of the first half. But Lakeview with 2 touchdowns from Dre Kemp, 1 in each quarter. The Spartans headed into the locker room with a 14-0 lead over the Portage Northern Huskies. We'll have our halftime show. We'll do our score games with Matt Miller, Ed Greenman, and Dave Downey of Lakeview, Harper Creek, and St. Phil, respectively. And our scoring summary all kicked off right at the beginning. The Lakeview Spartans getting the ball to start it, and they drove 75 yards on 5 plays. It ended with a Dre Kemp 1-yard run, only took 2:52 off the clock, but the key play there was a fake pitch, ends up turning into a 50-yard pass from Skylar Nichols to Tyrese Frederick.
There was many really good play-action plays on the day for this Lakeview football team, but using the run to be able to set up the pass, and Fredericks was wide open. It was a great play. He was able to use some lateral movements to allow him to be able to do some jukes to get further down the field. It was a great starting point, and I really don't think that the Huskies have really gotten that out of their heads yet.
No, not at all.
It's 14-0, and that is indicative of a football team that came in and they got put back on their heels immediately.
And since then, Lakeview has been able to move the ball quite well against this Portage Northern Husky defense. We'll get to the stats here in just a second. Portage Northern, right in the first quarter, they were doing pretty much the same thing. They were able to get down rather close, but were stopped in Spartan territory. Lakeview ended up having their best field position after a great punt from Jake Herbers, trapped them at the 5. A very short punt put the Spartans at the Portage Northern 29. That's where they needed 6 plays to go 29 yards. Dre Kemp with another 4-yard touchdown run just took 2 minutes off the clock in the second quarter, and it gave Portage Northern not a lot of time to put something together before they headed to the locker room. Jake Herbers making both of his extra points. That's where we're at, 14-0 here at the half.
Lakeview was able to do exactly what they wanted to do all game long against this Portage Northern football team. Now, Northern does get the football to start the second half, which is a good thing to note. And it is a must-score drive for them. I mean, it is pretty much do or die for them. As the first 24 minutes of play here, they have just not been effective all around on the defense side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. And right now they face a double-digit deficit on the road. It's going to be a tough uphill climb.
Absolutely. Going through the stats, the Lakeview Spartans, 130 yards on the ground in the first half, led by Dre Kemp's 83 yards on 13 carries. Malik Schrod with 30 yards on 6 carries, an average of 5 yards. Skylar Nichols with 3 carries for 17 yards. And Lakeview, through the air, just 50 yards. that 50-yard setup there from Skylar Nichols to Tyrese Frederick. That was the only completion. Nichols 1 for 4 for 50 yards. No penalties for the Spartans. That's another big key, and no turnovers as well. They did have one fumble, but they retrieved it, and 180 yards for total offense for the Spartans. On the Portage Northern side, 27 yards through the air. Thomas Shepard, 3 for 7 for those 27 yards. He did have one fumble, but he recovered that one, so no turnovers for the Huskies. On the ground, 54 yards, and it's led by Josh Whiter with 37 yards, and that's on 9 carries. Shepard has -4 on 5 carries. Grant McNally has a carry of 9 yards. Nick Herbert a carry of 12 yards. And Eric Coley, he hasn't touched the ball since, but he has 2 carries for -1. One penalty for the Huskies, and it was an illegal substitution, so that dropped them back 5 yards. A total offense of the first half for the Huskies, 75 yards. So Lakeview definitely doing damage on the offensive side.
They've done a great job all game long, and really the great thing about their offense and their offensive line especially is the fact that when they are handing the ball off to Kemp and Schrad on some delayed option reads, it's 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage already with the push that they're getting on the offensive line. It has allowed them to be very effective running the ball. It's allowed them to keep the Portage Northern offense off the field, and that's why they lead 14-0.
They're doing a fantastic job, and of course they look to do the same thing in the second half. We're going to take a step aside. We're going to get in touch with John Johnson and the Michigan High School Athletic Association perspective. Receiving to start the second half. Best field position for the Huskies in the first half was their own 20, and that's where they started twice.
And both those were created with the fact that Herbers really gets a good leg into it each and every time. He is such a weapon because as a coach, especially as a defensive-minded coach, saying, okay, I can plan at least 3 out of every 5 times he kicks the football that the offense for the opposing team is going to start at around the 20-yard line with a longer field than what would happen if you didn't have quite a good of a kicker as Herbert. So it really allows you to be able to plan really well.
So here's the boot here from Herbers. This one is going to be into the end zone barely, and Portage Northern will start at the 20. I did forget that their Portage Northern's first possession after that touchdown from Lakeview, they started at their 27. It was one of the very few of Herbert's kickoffs that fell short. They took it from 3 and returned it 24 yards.
But still being able to boom it back within the 10-yard line for the return really allows your special teams a chance to get there with good hang time. He's really a great weapon to have.
So Thomas Shepard will take it out of the shotgun, and he will hand it up off the middle, and over the left guard goes Josh Leiter, and a gain of 5, second down and 5 now for the Huskies.
Nice job there by Leiter. Leiter came into this football game with almost 900 rushing yards on the year. The first time these two teams played, Leiter with just under 100 yards rushing, and tonight he only has around 40 yards, but looking to get some more carries.
Shepard out of the shotgun here. Herbert on the near side will go in motion, and Leiter will end up getting the handoff and completely wrapped up in the middle. It looked like TJ Fisk was one of those guys.
TJ Fisk got right in there. This guy, he is a horse, and he is one of those guys that a football coach dreams about. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic, he has good feet, he makes great plays in the field all the time, and he really gives offensive line fits with his mobility.
3rd and 6 now for the Huskies, who will go in a 4-receiver set. Shepard out of the shotgun. He'll look to his right, and he will go just short, and I think it is caught right at about the 34. They're gonna call that complete.
Looked like it skipped in there.
Well, we don't have the best vantage point on that one because the ball was going into the breadbasket of Seth Weirman, number 20, and they were able to gain 10 yards on it. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Huskies.
Well, nice catch, nice job by Shepard to put the football right where it needed to go.
Shepard does have a good arm. He's going to roll right on this first down and 10, and then he's going to have to drop down, and he's able to not get hurt because he kind of was trying to slide in, and it did not look pretty. They lost 2 yards on it.
Well, and the official right there missed as clear of a hold as you will see by number 71, the right tackle, Eric Andrews, had a hold of the outside shoulder pad of Matthew Barrett, but still Barrett got in there and still got the sack.
9:53 left here in the third. Shepard on a 2nd and 11. They only mark him as a 1-yard loss. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. They'll hand it up the middle, and Leiter will just bulldoze his way up to the 36 and a gain of 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 now for the Huskies.
Nice tackle made by Cole Cleaver.
Brings up 3rd down now for Portage Northern. 9 to go.
Leiter now has 43 yards. He's in double digits in carries. 9:16 left. 3rd quarter. Lakeview ahead 14-0. Dre Kemp scoring 1 in each quarter. 3 receivers again on the far side for Shepard. He's going to have to roll right, and he does break away. And, he got nicked trying to head out of bounds. And a couple of the Portage Northern linemen are trying to hurry him off. Shepard did get hit pretty solid, but he is able to give the Huskies another first down and a gain of 10.
Well, pressure caused on the play by number 9, Hunter Boss, who came in there unevaded to the quarterback, and it looked to me like the running back that should have been a penalty for a chop block in the backfield there. As he went a little bit low, at least for my liking, but still a whole lot. Still defensively for Lake to be able to make some good plays.
And that was Grant McNally on the carry. The fullback didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. The nose is there, but it's still going to be 2nd down and 10. Now 8:30 left here in the 3rd quarter.
John Berkson Jr. getting in there to make the stop.
So Shepard again out of the shotgun. 2 running backs. Receiver on the near side. We're going to have a penalty here. It's going to be a legal procedure as the center for Portage Northern lost the grip of the football on that one.
Only the 2nd penalty of the game.
Yep. Illegal procedure is your call. It's going to be 2nd and 15 now for the Huskies.
These officials seem to be like the type of officials that likes to let the guys out there play. There have been a few calls that I'm sure that the head coach for both teams probably would have liked to maybe have gone their way, at least in this drive for Lakeview with head coach Matt Miller.
Shepard out of the shotgun with 3 receivers on the left side. He looks left. Good. And deflected away right at the last minute. Pass was intended for Seth Weirman. And it looked like that was Brennan Gooding on the D on that one.
Brennan Gooding did a fantastic job. He leads the team with 9 breakups on the season. Make that an even 10. Just a really great job with the anticipation that he showed on the coverage.
It's going to be 3rd down and 15 with 8:01 left with the clock stopped on that incompletion. Shepard 4 for 9 for 37 yards so far tonight. He also ran for 5 yards. 3 receivers again, actually 5 receiver set. Shepard has a lot of time. He floats it out to the flat, and it's caught and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, caught by Mitchell Brown. And they do gain 6 yards, but it's going to be 4th down and 9. Nope, they're going to mark it at the old line of scrimmage. 4th and 10.
Great job by the Lakeview defense there. But again, head coach Matt Miller comes over here to the side judge, and he's making the holding signal saying, look, my guys are being held out there a lot. And on the left side of the offensive line, again, it looked like there was a clear hold that just didn't get called.
Nick Herbert here on the punt for the Huskies, standing at his own 30. This one is a little bit wobbly, but it's going to bounce at the Spartan 30 and give it a Husky roll down to the 24. That's where the Spartans will start on their first drive of the second half.
Wobbly but effective. And for Portage Northern on a must-score drive, unable to get the points they needed.
I really think that 5-yard penalty on an illegal procedure did hurt them a little bit. But a great defensive play there by Gooding helped out the Spartans on that one. Nichols under center here from the 24. He'll spin and give it to Schrad. Schrad will pound his way up to about the 28. And mark it as 2nd and 7 now for Lakeview. 6:56 left here in the third.
We have a quick score update from CW and Post Field. Lawrence leads Battle Creek St. Phil 28-14 at the half.
Yikes. Of course, 2 weeks ago, Lawrence was a 40-19 winner over St. Phil, handing the Tigers their only loss. 2nd down and 7. This one handed up to Kemp on the left side, and Kemp is able to earn a couple more yards, make it 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Spartans at their own 31.
Still 21-7 in Midland Dow, the other part of this region, as the winner of this football game and the winner of the game between Mona Shores and Midland Dow will do battle next week.
And this one being kept by Nichols on the left side. He's able to get away. It's off to the races, and he might get caught. Oh, great block! And Nichols taken down at the 5.
A fantastic run by Nichols and a great block by Dre Kemp, and I'm sure Nichols is wondering where that other block could have came from. It looked like Malik Schrad on the other side had this V-type pattern that was running down the field. It was Nichols, and then it was Schrad and Kemp. Kemp made his block. Schrad looked like he tried there at the very end to make the block, but still a fantastic run by Nichols. And it all started with a stiff arm all the way back about 60 yards this way, and a great job by Nichols to use his speed to his advantage.
54 yards on that carry for Skylar Nichols, and the Spartans are going to call a timeout with 5:21 left. 1st and goal from the 6, and we'll have the next play coming up in just 30 seconds right here on the Spartans of Lakeview ahead 14-0 over Portage Northern. 5:21 left here in the third. Spartans in the red zone, 1st and goal after a 54-yard run from junior quarterback Skylar Nichols.
That was a career-long run for Nichols. His previous long was 47.
Fantastic job by the Spartans here. And on this 1st and goal, they're going to hand it up on the right side. Kemp is able to get through the line, but not completely, as he's tripped up, and he's going to get marked down at the 1 in a gain of 5, 2nd and goal.
Great blocking on the offensive line, led by the center, Justin Wright, who was able to clear a path here, and Kemp is inching closer to his 5th 3-touchdown or more game of the season.
91 yards on the ground so far. 2nd and goal. Nichols under center. He's going to hand it off on the left side, and they're going to go with Dre Kemp.
Well, when Dre Kemp actually got the handoff, he was already in the end zone. Nichols with that great job getting into him, but this offensive line is getting such a tremendous push off the line that it's making Skylar Nichols' night incredibly easy.
So that time a 76-yard drive, with Kemp finishing with that 1-yarder. Jake Herbers lining up for the extra point with 4:40 left. This one is up and hammered through to make it 21-0. The Lakeview Spartans ahead of the Huskies of Portage Northern. We'll have the kickoff coming up right after this on WBCK. It's time for your team to gear up for the fall and winter season. Season is third touchdown of the night, a 1-yard scamper, making it 21-0 after Jake Herber's extra point. 5 plays, 76 yards, 2:26 off the clock.
A hat trick for Drake Kemp, as he has just been a great leader. This guy's only a junior, folks. He's only a junior.
As Herbers hammers this one might get returned. Nope. Right through the hands of the returner, Nick Herbert, and it's going to be first down and 10 for the Huskies of Portage Northern at their own 20.
There's still 7-7 tie in Eaton Rapids in the district final between Harper Creek and Eaton Rapids. The winner of that game takes on Edwardsburg. The winner of Edwardsburg and Vicksburg, the Battle of the Bergs, as they call it. And it is 20-6 Edwardsburg in that football game.
The Eddies of Edwardsburg handing Vicksburg one of their 2 losses on the season, both out of the Wolverine Conference. First and 10 now for Thomas Sheffert, the senior quarterback for the Huskies. 4:40 left here in the third. This one gets handed off on the inside with Grant McNally, who cuts it on the inside and out 6 yards. Second down and 4 now for the Huskies.
Great job in the offensive line, number 73, Noah Heintz, the senior offensive lineman for Northern, doing a great job on the block on the delay run for the fullback.
Nick Herbert joins the fun here on the 2nd and 4. 4 receivers now for the Huskies. Sheffert out of the shotgun. Almost a illegal procedure there as Leiter moved a little bit quick. Sheffert ends up keeping the ball, and he is met at about the 29. It's going to be third down and just 1 yard.
Well, Sheffert that time looking like a fish out of water. Carrying the football, looking like a guy who either didn't want to do it or didn't feel like he was going to be successful, and he just sort of fell horizontally.
3:29 left here in the third. Under center goes Sheffert. He'll spin, and then he will turn to Josh Leiter. It's going to be close at the 30-yard line. They were waiting for the blocks to set up, and they just never showed up for the Huskies.
Well, the side judge here says they have it. I'm surprised that they didn't measure, and they actually got a really good spot.
Yeah, they marked him up just closer to the 41, almost a 2-yard gain, and that's actually what they mark it as. First and 10. 4 receivers now for the Huskies. And a fake jet sweep, and Leiter will go up the middle, and I think he'll just push it out just 1 yard. It's going to be second down and 9.
Great play made right off the bat by Cole Cleaver. He's had a really fantastic game, and really he's followed this week, or he's followed last week's performance where he had 7 tackles and 3 for loss, with just a really another solid game by the senior.
The second drive for the Huskies continues on now at 2:30 in the third as they trail by 3 touchdowns. Sheffert out of the shotgun. Herbert in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep, and they'll try to go deep ball out the middle. Great catch, and it's all the way down to the Lakeview 16. Great catch there by Nick Garrett.
Well, a touchdown-saving tackle made by number 20, Brandon Gooding, who realized that he got beat right off the line of scrimmage, and just a really nice throw right down the field. And going up to make the catch is Garant. And that time getting to see the strength of the arm there by Shepard. The first time they've really tried to go with a deep ball.
52 yards on that gain. And a quick hitter there for Garrett, who's going to go to the back of the end zone. Actually, that was Shepard on the pass, intended for Herbert. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 16.
I think that's one that Shepard would like to have back because his guy, Brown, was wide open in the end zone.
He got just a little bit of air underneath that one, and it looked like he just rocked back on his back foot, but definitely the arm to make it that distance. 2nd and 10, 1:58. Huskies with their best drive so far. They're going to roll right with Shepard. Shepard's going to escape, and he's going to get down to the 5, but they lost the ball, and Lakeview picks it right up at the 15.
Well, that time, like I said, Shepard is a fish out of water when he has to run with the football. He likes to pass. It's where his comfort zone is. And that time he had to take it a foot. And when you don't really like to run and you don't have much experience running the football, you tend not to know how to carry the football correctly. And Shepard that time just had the football where you don't want it to be, had it on his outside arm, and it looked like it was Matt Barrett that just poked it away.
So the Spartans will get the ball. First turnover on the night for either side. And Lakeview at their own 15. Spin and ran there by Schrad. Schrad will push it out to, it looks like, the 23. 2nd down and 7 from the 18.
Right now, Lakeview, not only do they have a 21-0, 3-touchdown, 3-score lead over Portage Northern, but they also have a clock that keeps ticking down as we're approaching 1 minute to play in the third quarter, and they're just content on being methodical.
Yep. 2nd down and 7 now for Nichols. This time handing it up to Kemp. Kemp is able to jump the left guard, but only able to gain 3 more yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 21.
Nice play by number 64, Tyquan Mills, on the last stop there for Portage Northern. Here, 3rd down and 4, coming up less than a minute to go here in the third quarter.
90 yards now for Kemp. This one handed up to Kemp. Kemp is able to break through in the middle, and they're going to stop him at the 28. And it's going to be a gain of 7 yards. 1st down.
Well, the beautiful thing to see, if you like to watch football games where they run the football and they run it all the time, is right next to Kemp on that run, as a pile came up, were 2 offensive linemen that led the way, and Kemp just simply followed their lead.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. And Nichols will spin and hand it to Schrad. Schrad goes down at the 31 as he plows through the middle, and a gain of 3 yards. On the final play of the third quarter, Lakeview scores one more time in the third. 76 yards on that drive, led by a 54-yard run from quarterback Skylar Nichols. 21-0 heading into the final stanza. We'll have it for you right here on News Talk 95.3 WBCK-FM. Welcome back to Spartan Memorial Stadium at Lakeview High School. The hosting Spartans ahead 21-0. We shift sides of the field for the fourth quarter, and the Spartans getting ready for a 2nd and 8 play at their own 31. They were able to obtain the ball after a fumble on the best drive that the Portage Northern Huskies had tonight. Skylar Nichols, the junior quarterback, will take the snap, and Schrad tries to jump over the line again. That's one of the things that they've been able to do, is just drop the one side of the line so they can start pushing them out. But just a 1-yard gain for Schrad. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
But right there, he had a little bit of sizzle with that 1 yard run with what can only be termed as a high hurdle as he hurdles the defender for Portage Northern, who actually made the tackle, number 62, Brandon Kerr.
So on the 3rd and 6, Nichols will pitch it out, this time to Schrad. Great block by Nichols. Schrad able to break through. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He gets wrapped up at the toes. Even his shoe comes off. And they're going to mark him down at the 30. Great run by Malik Schrad.
Oh, the power sweep. You have to love it. And it was a great job with the progressions by the offensive line. Everybody knew what they were supposed to do. And the second that seal was created on the outside, Malik Schrad looked like he was shot out of a cannon as he was going down the far sideline. A fantastic run, but it all starts up front with that offensive line making great plays.
83 yards now for Schrad on the night. This one being run up the middle on the Portage Northern 30, and it's now pushed out to about the 28. And I believe that was Schrad on that carry as well. They're going to push it out to the 27. 2nd down and 7.
Still no updates from our area scores. Everything where it was, where it last stood, it was 28-14 Lawrence over St. Phil, 7-7 between Harper Creek and Eaton Rapids, 56-7 Lansing Catholic over Olivet.
Nichols will hand it off to Kemp, and Kemp is wrapped up rather quickly by the toes. Jay Koski on the tackle there for Portage Northern. And a gain of 2, 3rd down and 5.
3rd down and 5. Now 10 minutes left to play here in the 4th quarter. And right now the score and the clock are both ominous here for Portage Northern.
9:47 left here in the game. And the Spartans up by 3 touchdowns. Nichols will spin. Give it to Kemp, and they are wrapping him up rather quick. He does gain, I think, 1 yard, but the linebackers for Portage Northern came up and stuffed the gaps.
And right here, might as well go for it here in 4th down. They're up by 3 scores. If you get the first down, great, with it being 4th down and 4. If you don't get it, you lose 75 yards. In which Portage Northern would have to traverse in order to score. So, Coach Van Miller says, let's go.
Yep, they're going to go for it, as Kemp has now reached 100 yards on the night. Nichols, he'll pitch it out to Schrad on the right side, and Schrad not going to get the first down. He gains 3. He's just 1 yard short, wrapped up around the toes. That's on by Ryan Beadle.
Well, if Schrad looks at this play later on in film study, he's going to realize that he should have cut it outside instead of cutting it inside. Had he cut it outside and followed his blockers here on the near sideline, here as we're looking down from the press box, that would have been a touchdown. The blockers were there. He just saw a hole on the inside where it was for a short period of time, got a few yards, but not quite able to get what he wanted.
So the Huskies will get the ball back on their own 21 with 8:54 left here in the game. They're looking to get on the board. 3 receivers on the far side for Thomas Shepard. Herbert. And then it's a double reverse, and then a flea flicker back to Shepard. Shepard just waits. Wide open is Herbert on the far side. He gets a first down, trips over his own toes, and then he finally gets dropped at the Portage Northern 48. A lot of things moving for the Huskies, but they were able to use a little trickery to get up to the 48 in a gain of 27 yards.
Well, that play was conventional.
A little bit.
A lot of stuff going on there. It's kind of like a multiple level word problem for a 6th grader.
So Herbert with his first reception on the night. This one passed over on the near side and caught, and they are in Spartan territory at the 46. That one caught by Nick Garrett.
Great tackle made in the open field by number 5, Drake Kemp, because had Garant been able to maneuver himself just a half second longer, that's a touchdown. Because he had the opportunity to make that lateral movement that would have been able to kick it out here closer to the near sideline.
8 minutes now left in the game. 3 receivers on the far side again for Shefford. And they'll take it with Josh Leiter. Look at that wrap up there. Matt Barrett right there on the line, and they lost a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Well, Matt Barrett says, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. And after a couple of big passes, he read that play like a paperback novel, sat there, sniffed it out, that draw. If Barrett doesn't make that tackle, and if he's not paying that close attention, that's a big gain. Great job.
Shefford looking right with the 3 receivers there and waiting in the flat, and there is a flag on the play. The ball gets out to, it looks like the 40-yard line, so it's a gain of 7, and they do get a 1st down. Portage Northern was applauding, and I think they may have helped out here. Personal foul, roughing the passer. So that's Lakeview's first penalty, and that's a big one. That's 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
I didn't see a big hit on the play.
I did.
You did?
Oh, yeah. He got hit pretty hard. So a 7-yard catch there to Learman, and then a 15-yard penalty for Lakeview.
I must have been looking further on down the field there. I didn't catch it.
So now Portage Northern now with 3 receivers again on the far side, part of the 5-receiver set. Garrett taking a long step back, and he airmails Learman. That pass was intended right in the middle, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10. The Huskies at the 25-yard line of Lakeview.
We do have an update from the other end of the region. Here in Division II, Mona Shore is leading Midland Dow at the end of the 3rd quarter, 28-14 in Midland.
The Sailors starting to come back a little bit. 7:06. Quick one out to the flat and caught. And looking for blockers, Portage Northern doesn't really have any, but a 7-yard gain. Pass was completed out into the flat to Learman.
Well, the guy who was out there was number 10, Mike Brown. Mike Brown was a little wide receiver that could on that block over on the far sideline. Did everything he could do to allow his teammate to get the most yards he possibly could.
Out of the shotgun again, and this time a quick run, because there was somebody coming for the Spartans, and Shefford gets tripped up and he loses 2 yards in the process.
Well, Hunter Boss was coming right at him, and that was enough to make the senior quarterback scared enough to come out of his pocket.
4th and 5, 6:10 left in the game, and the Spartans remain ahead 21-0. Portage Northern trying to make that push once again. 5-receiver set. Shefford will look left and throws a nosedive ball, and Shefford was looking at the official. Was that pass interference? And it could have potentially been there. There were 2 Husky receivers right there, and the Spartans just plowed into them.
How could it not be pass interference? I mean, the whole point of pass interference is the defender doing something that interfered with the route or the ability to catch the football. I would think running into them and making them fall down would classify as pass interference. Maybe not these guys.
Well, Shefford did kind of throw a pass that nosedived 3 yards short, and it could have been deemed uncatchable.
That must have been what they thought.
So 5:56 left, and Kemp able to get on the outside. Nope, that's Schrad. There is a flag on the play that was thrown, and it's laying at the 21, which is a yard in front of the current line of scrimmage for the Spartans. And a block in the back on Lakeview that will take it 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. So it's going to be first down and 19 now for Lakeview. Now, last week, Lakeview almost shot themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties and a couple of fumbles. Even though they have a 3-touchdown lead at this point, that's something that Matt Miller really does not want to toy with right now.
20 to go now, though.
Well, under 6 minutes to play, more than midway through the final quarter here. It's a 3-score lead, and this is a big opportunity here for this Northern defense to pin this Lakeview offense back deep to possibly get a punt in good field position.
5:37 and counting, 12 on the play clock. Skylar Nichols is going to just let this thing wind down to its lowest point at the 7, and Kemp will rush forward and gain 3 yards. It's going to be second down and 16. They're going to mark it at the 15, so they gave him 4.
Second down now, 15.
And another update from the Mona Shores Midland Dow game. Mona Shores now leading 34-14 with a 3-score lead in Midland. That game looking like that may be the opponent for the winner of this game, which more than likely, as of right now, looking like it's going to be Lakeview.
And a trip up to Muskegon as Schrad takes this one. And Schrad ekes his way up to about the 19 and a 4-yard gain. And a timeout, I believe, for Portage Northern.
Still 7-7 between Eaton Rapids and Harper Creek. And also still 28-14 Lawrence and St. Phil with the last score that we have there. And right here is 21-0. Lakeview with a 3-score lead. They have done it on the ground, on offense, and on defense. They have done a really good job against this Portage Northern football team. And at times, especially throwing the ball, have looked pretty good on a few plays.
Yep. Lakeview has not gone to the air at all here in the second half. Statler Nichols 1 for 4. They've been able to do everything on the ground. 268 yards of total team rushing. Schrad with 93, Kemp with 104, Nichols with 71. That's pretty even.
It has been an equal attack by this football team. And if you're head coach Matt Miller, that's exactly what you want. Mm-hmm. You want the equal disbursement. You want to be able to control the clock. They've done that in this football game. They're leading 21-0. And I think this is a statement to any football team in the state, in Division II, that's looking to play against Lakeview, is that Lakeview's for real.
Definitely are. 4:41 left here, 3rd and 12. A pitch off and going right is Kemp. Kemp is not even going to get to the old line of scrimmage. And it looks like they mark it at the 22. So he does get past the old line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th down and 8 now for the Spartans at their own 22. They're going to be forced to punt. And it looks like another timeout here for the Huskies.
And another score update. The potential opponent of either Harper Creek or Eaton Rapids in Division 4 for next week, either Edwardsburg or Vicksburg. Right now, Edwardsburg with a 3-score lead, 26-6 against Vicksburg. So the winner of that Harper Creek Eaton Rapids game will be going to Edwardsburg probably next week if all things stay how they are right now.
Yep, Edwardsburg, the top point getter in the playoffs out of the 4 remaining teams in that region in Division 4. Vicksburg also had some high points too. Eaton Rapids, I think, was just short of that. So if Vicksburg were to mount a major comeback, no matter what, the trip would have been down into the Wolverine Conference. Herbert standing at his own 7 and gets a high spiral. It's going to go all the way into Portage territory and down at the 36. Great punt as the ball came from the 21. And that's, let's see, doing my quick math here, 49 yards?
49-yard punt for Jake Herbert.
Yeah.
He has a 49-yard punt and a 60-yard punt today. That's more than a 50-yard average for all the math majors back at home. Getting their calculators out, trying to figure it out. You can't ask for more.
4 receivers there for Portage Northern on this 1st and 10. And Shepard's just going to have to throw it out of bounds, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Smartest play that the Husky quarterback had there.
Well, right now, this Portage Northern football team is probably feeling like the television show The Great American Hero, just everything trying to throw up a wing and a prayer right now, hoping to somehow make a comeback, hoping to somehow figure out the directions to this football game, because right now, Lakeview has controlled this whole thing, 3-touchdown lead, and Northern, they just have to score right now.
Shepard will look to his right. Has great protection there, and then he floats it out. Great catch there. Learman had to come back to the ball and complete there for the Huskies. Wrapped up at the 39, just a gain of 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 with 3:56 left in the game. Spartans still ahead by 3 scores, 21-0.
Devin Sherlock with a great open field tackle. Great job wrapping up.
Shepard looks left, and then he throws a screwball over to Herbert, and out of his reach. It's 4th down and 7, and 3:39 left here in the game.
Well, TJ Fisk, number 88 for this football team for Lakeview, just getting his hand up, blocking the line of vision for Shepard on that last play. Great job, great maneuver, and it's 4th down and 7. With under 4 minutes to play, Portage Northern, they're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat right here.
Yep, and that was the final timeout that Portage Northern called here on this 4th and 7. Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. Applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. That is MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. And getting ready for this 4th and 7. Looks like 3 receivers on the near side for the Huskies and Thomas Shepard.
I'm sure Shepard looked for something on the slot here.
And he waits, and pass was just a little bit high, intended for Nick Garant, who had it slide through his fingers. It would have been a 1st down if the Huskies were able to retrieve that one in Spartan territory. But Lakeview will get the ball at Portage Northern's 39. 3:34 left. No timeouts for the Huskies. And the clock can kind of start dwindling down a little bit now.
Well, that pass may have been high, Nate, but it was catchable.
Yes.
And Garant is thinking to himself right now, because that may be the last time that this offense for Northern's on the field.
And the Huskies still have not made it past the district finals in school history. This one rushed Nichols, and he bulldozes his way after taking that one down to the 32 and a gain of 6.
And the pile was actually being pushed from behind by Cole Cleavers.
77 yards on 5 carries for Nichols. Of course, the big one, a 54-yarder that set up Dre Kemp's 3rd score of the night. So 2nd down and 3, 2:57 left. Nichols will take it up the middle on a quarterback sneak, and he will
The ball carrier.
get wrapped up at about the 29. I think they might call him just short of the first. They do.
Gain of 3 on the play.
It's going to be 3rd down and inches now.
Third down now for the Spartans. Less than a yard to go. Ball at the 29-yard line. Portage.
And with all the running that Lakeview has done, and with the time of possession battle that they have won in this football game,
Easily.
went really quick.
2:20 now. 3rd and inches for the Spartans. Nichols, he will hand it up the middle. As Shred gets all the way down to about the 18 as he bursts his way through the middle, and a 1st down for the Spartans.
First down.
Gain of 10.
Well, you know, Shrad and this Lakeview running game, it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, pretty much. You run one play, try to get a lot of yards. Matt Miller is telling Skylar Nichols, just sit on the ball, take a little bit of time. And this one handed up again to Shrad, who's held up at the line. And after 3 quarters, Harper Creek and Eaton Rapids are still tied at 7. Lansing Catholic well on their way to advancing to the regional finals in Division 5, 63-14 in the 4th quarter. Well ahead there. So 2nd down and 8, 1:09 left. I think the Spartans might have to call one timeout in order to do anything. They do give Shrad 2 yards on that one. Victory formation for the Spartans as they'll just sit on it 2 more times. And the Lakeview Spartans advancing to the regional finals next week. Against 2, well, we're waiting on the final, but it looks like they will be heading to Muskegon next week.
Which is quite a long hike, so is there a chance that they might have a neutral site?
There is the potential of that. The rolling for the MHSAA is 75 yards or 75 miles or beyond. There's a potential of a neutral site, but it's up to the higher point total, which goes to Mona Shores. So Muskegon could very well host next week. But Lakeview puts the ball down one more time, and that is it. Matt Miller just got doused with a ton of water, and the Spartans hold Portage Northern to nothing tonight. 21-0. The Lakeview Spartans winning their district first time since 1996.
Not only did they win, it was a commanding victory.
Oh, yeah.
They left no room for doubt in this football game, and they did it the right way. They did it with no turnovers. They did it with very few penalties. They ran the football, they controlled the clock, they played their game, and this is a win that these fans and these kids are going to remember for the rest of their lives. They're district champs at home. It is a great night to be a Spartan.
So congratulations to the Lakeview Spartans, your winners of the district finals in Division 2, Region 3, and they'll most likely be heading up to Muskegon to take on the Sailors of Mona Shores, but we'll wait for that final coming up here later on tonight, that game taking place, and I believe Mona Shores was ahead by a couple of scores there. We'll have our